Okay, it's time I do another video like this because it's been a while. Today, I'm gonna be talking about my favorite band, Green Day. If you don't know who Green Day is, they're a punk rock band that started in like the late 80s. They're still making music now. They're my favorite band. Lead singer, Billy Joe Armstrong. Bassist, Mike Dirnt. Drummer, Tré Cool. They just came out with a new greatest hits album called God's Favorite Band. So I'm gonna go through the whole thing and kind of say like how I feel about the album. Obviously they're not new songs except for 2 of them at the end, which I'll get to, but my first concern is that their first studio album, 39 Smooth, is not on this album whatsoever, even though they have a bunch of hits from it, including my favorite song, Going to Pasalacqua. Here we go again, infatuation touches me. Songs like At the Library, Dry Ice, all those songs, they're amazing, but they didn't make it on this list. Probably because they didn't have enough room for them because they had so much popularity after this, like Dookie and American Idiot were so much more popular that they have a lot more songs from them. But the first song in this album comes from their second studio album, Kerplunk, which came out in 1992, and it's 2,000 Light Years Away. This is the first song on the album. It's an amazing song. It's kind of just about like someone that you love like being so far away. It's like 2,000 light years away, and he says like, I hold my breath and close my eyes and dream about her, but she's 2,000 light years away. So it's basically like loving someone, but either they're so far away or they're not in your life and it feels like they're so far. So that's a great song. The next, I believe, 5 songs are all from Dookie. We have Longview, Welcome to Paradise, Basket Case, She, and When I Come Around, which are all amazing songs. I love every single one of them. Longview is a fun one. Longview, I think personally, has the best bass line of literally any song ever. Here, I'll play the bass line for you right now. The funny story about this bass line is that the bassist Mike Dirnt wrote this song in like 1993 before this album came out, like when he was tripping on acid, and he like came up with the bass line for this song. That's why it's so funny. It's an amazing song. It's just about like boredom and things that come with boredom. I'm not really gonna talk about it, but it's a really great song for the whole band. The next song, Welcome to Paradise. Welcome to Paradise is one of my favorite songs ever. The solo is one of the most amazing things I've ever heard. I'll play it here. What he's talking about is moving away from his mother, who he mentions a couple times. He says, "Dear mother, can you hear me whining?" at the beginning of the song. And it's about him moving to Oakland. And at the beginning it's like, it's been 3 whole weeks since I left your home, and he's like not really happy about it, and he doesn't know if he likes it. But after the solo and at the end of the song he says, "Dear mother, can you hear me laughing?" So he knows that this is his home and he loves it, and they're talking about Oakland, where they're from, Oakland, California, and it's just a really like heartfelt song, and it's one of my favorites. Next is Basket Case. Basket Case is a song that pretty much everyone in the world knows, I think. It starts off with a really good riff. Do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing? The line that everyone knows from it is, "Am I just paranoid or am I just stoned?" They smoke a lot of weed at this time, and that's what a lot of their songs are about, but it's a really funny line. It hits everyone in different ways, makes people laugh. It's a really great song. I think this is one of their songs that the whole band can just be applauded for because it's just amazing from all spectrums of music. So the next song on the album is When I Come Around. This is also from Dookie. I didn't know if I said Dookie came out in 1994. It's their most popular album, sold the most records ever. When I Come Around it's the first time we really see the band kind of slow down, and like just the bass is great, the guitar is great, everything's really just comes together. It's one of the most popular songs ever. He says, "You know where I'll be found when I come around," so it's kind of just like coming back to people you love, and like maybe you haven't seen them in a long time, and just like seeing everyone again. It's like, you know where I'll be found when I come around. It's like, I'll always be here. It's not personally one of my favorite songs, but I love the song. It's a very celebrated song. It's one of their best ever, and it deserves to be on the album for sure. The next song and the last one from Dookie, they don't have it in order of the album for some reason on here, because it's She, and She comes after Basket Case, but they put it at the end of the Dookie songs. She is one of the best songs ever. It comes in my like top 10 favorite Green Day songs. It's just amazing. Like the bass at the beginning, I'll play it here. It's absolutely amazing. I love it so much. And then the guitarist sort of picks up and he just starts singing, and Billy just does a great job with the song, and so does Mike. I think it's kind of talking about a girl that he loves, but like it kind of goes through like her struggles and like finding love, and it's like she screams in silence. It's like she might kind of be going crazy and like not really knowing how to react to stuff, and it's just, it really hits home. All their music, especially from Dookie, really hits home with a lot of people. Now we transition from Dookie to Insomniac, which came out in 1995, only a year later. They only have one song from this album. I would like to applaud a ton of songs from this album. Songs like Stuck With Me, Stewart in the Ave, Jaded, Walking Contradiction. These are all songs that I believe could have made this list, but obviously they don't have enough room on the CD to put like 40 songs. So the one song that they did choose from this album is, of course, Brain Stew. It starts off with like distinct guitar riff with just 2 notes at a time, and he's like, I'm having trouble trying to sleep, I'm counting sheep but running out. I've been trying to sleep, I'm counting sheep but running out. It talks about Billy's insomnia and him like not being able to sleep, and it talks about like different drugs and like, I don't know, it's just a very good song. The line that everyone knows, on my own, here we go, like separates him from everyone else and like the struggle he's going through, like actually like having really bad insomnia, like not being able to sleep at all, like kind of feeling like you're going crazy. It hits home to a lot of people, so it's an amazing song. The next album we have here is Nimrod. Nimrod came out in 1997. They picked 2 tracks from here, Hitchin' a Ride and Good Riddance. I would like to applaud Nice Guys Finish Last. Jinx is an amazing song, but they picked Hitchin' a Ride, which is one of my favorite songs ever. It's pretty light, the whole song, until the guitar solo. I'll play a little bit of the guitar solo here. They kind of just build everything up in such a way that gets you excited and like gets you hype, and then they just let it all absolutely loose in the guitar solo, and they all just go crazy, and it's an amazing song. I love it a lot. And then we have Good Riddance, which of course is like their farewell song. They play it at the end of every concert. It's a song known by everyone. It's one of my favorite songs. I can play it on guitar, even though I don't really play guitar. I know how to play that song on guitar because basically everyone does. But in the end it's right, I owe you at the time of your life. It's just a great farewell song. I hope you have the time of your life. I mean, the title is literally Good Riddance in parentheses time of your life, so it's like, I think it's amazing. It's one of their best songs ever, and I applaud them for that, and it definitely earned a spot on this list. Okay, now we get into the Warning era. Warning came out in 2000. It's one of their least popular albums ever, but I think it's amazing. Songs like, on this list we have Minority and Waiting. I would like to applaud the song Castaway, the song Misery. Those are great songs, but here we have Minority, which kind of talks about like, it's saying like, I want to be the minority, like I don't want to fit in with all of the norms and all like the social norms and everything like that. He's kind of like separating himself and saying like, I want to be my own person, and like this is who I am, like you can't stop me. And I think that hits home to a lot of people, and that's why it was such a popular song. The other song we have is the title track, Warning. I don't know how to describe this song. All I could say is just watch the music video, because it's sort of just saying live without warning, so it's kind of rebellious. And the music video makes the person seem like pretty stupid in a way, but it's really funny. So if you have a chance, go watch the music video. It's pretty funny. This is a public service announcement. This is only a test. And now we get into my favorite album of all time, American Idiot. I have a tattoo right here of it. I'm not gonna pull up my shirt to show you right now, but it's here, the heart grenade. So the title track, American Idiot, one of their best songs ever, one of the best music videos I've ever seen. Let's not put it on my America. Welcome to a new kind of attention. All across This album gets really political, especially with songs like American Idiot and Holiday. American Idiot kind of talking about how everyone in America is seemingly being turned into an idiot and like not knowing what's going on, and like the whole era with the war starting and like people not really being informed. I think that's kind of what they're trying to say there. And the same with Holiday. Everyone knows the song Holiday. They don't know it's very political though. It's really, they're anti-war, anti-Bush at the time, and it's very political, but even if you don't really care about that sort of stuff, it's a catchy tune. It hits people. If you realize what it's really talking about, it's interesting, you know. It's very political, but it's very enjoyable at the same time. And then we have the song Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Holiday kind of leads into Boulevard of Broken Dreams. This album has a bunch of songs that all sort of lead into each other. Boulevard of Broken Dreams is kind of just like, kind of a lonely song. It's saying, I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever known.
I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever known.
So it's kind of just like picturing Billy as an outcast and just like putting him by himself, but it's in a place that he obviously knows. He says, the only road that I have ever known. He seems to be lonely. He says he doesn't know where it goes, but it's home to me, so I walk alone. So it's sort of saying that like his home is sort of lonely to him, but he still loves it anyway, so he'll walk it, of course. But it's an amazing song. It's probably their most celebrated song ever. If you don't want to say Basket Case, it is. They're both right up there, but it's an amazing song, so it deserves to be on the list. Next comes Wake Me Up When September Ends. This is one of their most amazing songs I've ever heard. People always think that by the music video, this song is only about 9/11 and the war. That's not true. The true meaning behind this song is that when Billy was 10 years old, his dad died, I believe, of cancer. Don't quote me on that. But when he was 10, his dad passed away, and after the funeral, Billy went into his room, locked the door, and when his mom came to the door, he said, "Wake me up when September ends," because his dad died in September. This is very emotional for him. It was probably very hard for him to make a song out of it, but it really hits home to a lot of people, especially him, of course, because it's about his father. He mentions his father 2 times in the song.
Like my father's come to pass, 7 years has gone so fast. Like my father's come to pass, 20 years has gone so fast.
When he plays this song live, he gets really emotional. It's a very emotional song. People tie it into 9/11 and the fighting also, and losing people in war, and it's just a very emotional and connecting song for everyone, I think. Alright, next we go to the 2009 album 21st Century Breakdown, and the first song we have from that is Know Your Enemy. This is a very, very catchy song. I don't personally love it as much as everyone else does, mainly because I think it's very repetitive. I don't think that a lot of their music is repetitive at all, but I found this song very, very repetitive. But the first time I heard this song was like when I was probably like 10 or 11 years old, like when it came out on like WWE, like Raw or SmackDown. It was like one of the title songs, so that's where I first heard the song. So this is one of the first Green Day songs I've heard, because I listened to them a little bit before then, but then early middle school I really started to get into them and love them. So it's a good song, I like it. It's just a little too repetitive, and I would have replaced it with a song like 21st Century Breakdown, the title track. And the other song we have from that album is 21 Guns. This, I don't want to hate on 21 Guns because I love it so much, but this is also very repetitive. The 2 songs that they chose from this album are very repetitive. I love this song. It's amazing. It starts off very slow.
Do you know what's worth fighting for?
Which I like when they get slow, but then it turns into a Green Day song and they really hit it and hit the guitars and hit the drums. It's just a little bit too repetitive, but I do like it. It goes pretty high up on my charts. I just think maybe other songs from this album could have made the list. And then the band took a few years off, so from 2009 to 2012, and then in 2012 they released a trilogy of albums, 3 complete albums, all in the end of 2012, titled Uno, Dos, and Tre. They didn't get much popularity. Uno got a little bit. I would have put some more songs on from Uno. The only song they chose from the entire trilogy is from Uno, and it's titled Oh Love. This is also a very repetitive song, so they basically have 3 extremely repetitive songs in a row on this album. I wouldn't have done that, but it is a good song. I like it. I first saw them play this on America's Got Talent Live, which was really cool because I love them and I love seeing them play live. I just think it's a little bit too repetitive. Alright, and now we get into last year's release of Revolution Radio, where we have Bang Bang. Bang Bang was the first single. I've never been more excited for an album than I was for Revolution Radio. I wasn't let down, but I wanted a little bit more. So the three songs that they picked from this album were Bang Bang, Still Breathing, and Ordinary World. These are the most mainstream songs. Bang Bang, I don't think it's too mainstream. It's a very Green Day song, but I would have picked songs like Bouncing Off the Wall, Forever Now, but they picked Bang Bang, the first single, as the first one on here. It's an amazing song. They get back to being very political. I mean, obviously, with the last election, they're not happy with the results. Of course, they're pretty outspoken about that. They want to have a say, so they made this album, and it's kind of like American Idiot, only probably a little bit more political. I think they're a little bit angrier this time, so Bang Bang's a pretty angry song. And then we have Still Breathing. Still Breathing has a really, really meaningful story behind it for Billy. In 2012, he was performing at the iHeartRadio Music Festival and had a complete breakdown. Smashed his guitar, was swearing at everyone, like, "I'm not Justin Bieber, you motherfuckers." It was not good, but he went into rehab after that for his drinking problem, and Still Breathing came out as a single on the 4th anniversary of his sobriety. So he's celebrating 4 years of sobriety, saying, "I'm still breathing, I'm still alive." And I think that hits home with people in a million different ways, whether it be sobriety or going through sickness or something like that, like going through a tough time, maybe with depression or something like that, saying like, "I'm still breathing." He says, "My head's above the rain and roses," like everything's gonna be okay, basically. Everything will be okay, my tattoo right here. But that's basically what the message is. He's celebrating, not necessarily celebrating his sobriety, but he's using it as a pathway to, you know, tell people that they don't have to be worried, and that even if you're going through a tough time, no matter what it is, everything will turn out okay in the end. Basically, you're still breathing. The last song we have from Revolution Radio is Ordinary World, the last track on the album, but this is a re-recorded version with Miranda Lambert. I like the original song a little bit better. It's a very slow song, slower than Good Riddance. I like the song. It's not my favorite song. I liked it a little bit more in the original version, so I kind of wish they stuck with that. The Miranda Lambert version, it's not terrible. I think because I'm such a big Green Day fan and they never really do collaborations on songs, especially on albums, I think this might be their first album that has a collaboration with someone. It feels a little bit weird to me. It's a good song, don't get me wrong. It just feels a little bit weird. And then the one I've been waiting to talk about, the new release, the song Back in the USA. It's become one of my favorite songs ever. I might say that just because they just released it, but it is literally one of my favorite songs ever. I'll play some of it here for you now. The music video, it's very, very political. So if you don't like politics, don't watch the music video, because it is very, very anti-Trump, and it kind of rips them apart. But I think for what they're trying to do and what they're trying to say, it's appropriate. And if you watch the music video, you'll see it's basically just talking about like how like people don't really know what's going on, and like they need to see the truth, kind of. And I'm not saying that that's completely right. I'm just saying that that's their message. Like, they're basically saying like people aren't seeing the truth and like what's going on in politics, and they're being lied to. That's basically what the whole music video, and I'm guessing the whole song, is basically about. It's talking about like people eating poison and it tasting like lemonade. So it's basically like saying they're getting fed all of these lies and they're just like taking it as if it's like lemonade and it's like it tastes good, when in reality I guess it's probably not a good thing to them. But yes, they're very political, they're very not necessarily anti-government, they're not like nihilistic, but I don't think they're very pro-Trump, which is heard by a lot of people. I'm not gonna say my political views, but I mean, that's theirs, so if you like the music, you like the music, I mean. But yeah, that's the end of the album. I think they did a great job. I would have liked to have heard Going to Pasalacqua, songs like Coming Clean off of Dookie, one of my favorite songs, songs like Christy Road off of Kerplunk. That's one of my favorite songs ever. Songs like Chump. From Dookie. Those are like 3 of my 4 favorite songs ever. Also, Jesus of Suburbia. which I think is one of their best songs ever. It's not on this list, so my top 4 favorite Green Day songs aren't even on this list, so I guess I'm just a weirdo or something, but they did a good job with the list. They hit the mainstream, they got it right, I think. So good job, Green Day. I'm gonna do more like reviews soon, maybe of music, maybe of other stuff. G-Eazy has a new album coming out December 15th, the day I'm supposed to go home, so I should be doing a review of that then. So yeah, it's been real. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share the love, and good night.